Yeah, no, for sure. It brings out the best in a lot of guys. I think, especially in our room, we got a lot of competitive guys. So, it's definitely fun, and we're excited to get down there and start going.
We talked a lot about Pete. How do the players see that? I mean, I know you guys went up there and you got to win for him there. Is this the same type of situation emotionally?
No, I think it's just we're worrying about our group in a whole. You know, I think it's on us. If we play our game, then it's we're gonna have a good shot at winning here. So I don't we're not too worried about what's going on over on the other side or what happened last year or anything like that. But yeah, for sure, just go down and play our game.
What is your game, and how did you get into it in Game 7? Because it seemed like one of the best team games you guys have played.
Yeah, for sure. If you watch that game over, everyone's tracking, everyone's winning battles. We're making smart plays at the right time. There's a lot of different things that go into it, but obviously it was a great team game. So a lot of that's the same stuff in the next round here.
When you do that, what's the confidence level? I mean, it just seems like you can play with anybody when you're playing that way.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly believe that we can play with anyone when we play our game, and it's the height of the game is magnitude now, and we just got to make sure we're sharp.
How's the wear and tear on your body at this point? Because obviously it's been a long playoff and a long season. Any difference now than maybe like in mid-season?
Yeah, I mean, I think you ask anyone around the room, I'm sure there's some stuff going on with everyone here. So it's definitely something you just got to kind of push through, and we all love the game and love to push through it. So that's just part of it.
What's the process been like to bring Domi in and then get the chemistry going?
It's been great. Right from the start, I felt like we had some good chemistry, and at the start of the series there, we were I felt like we were pushing the pace for a lot of the games there, and that's being the third line or second line, whatever you want to call it, but we definitely have to be a big part of it and hold our own. So that's something we have in the back of our minds, and we definitely want to take advantage of.
You practice it all this summer? I know Tyler does a little bit, but you guys are all Ontario guys. Didn't know if you see each other at all.
No, I don't really see Maxie too much in the summer, but work out with Seg, so see him a bunch. But no, not Maxie too
I don't know
much.
if that helps chemistry at all, just having that familiarity at all.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does, but no, we haven't really. Our dads played together in Toronto way back, so we kind of knew each other from then. But that's about it.
Good story.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Pete say anything to you guys about just going back to Vegas for him?
No, not really. Like I said before, I don't think it's about too much about Pete going back to Vegas. I think it's about us coming in there and as a team and trying to beat them. So I think that's more what we're worried about.
It's all about
Except for Spotter, yeah.
No, it's all about him, not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
What do you expect from a crowd perspective of the Western Conference Finals there in Vegas?
Yeah, even when you play there in the regular season, it's a great arena. You're walking out to the rink and the barn's shaking. So I'm excited to get out there and see what it's like in playoffs, and I'm sure it's great. So that kind of stuff sometimes can pump the other team up too. So I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Have you allowed yourself to think about 4 wins away from playing for the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, it's always kind of in the back of your head there, but you gotta, at this point of the season, you just gotta go one game at a time. Not get too high, not get too low, and just bring it every night. That's kind of thing you gotta do.
How about it being an all Sun Belt Final Four?
Sorry.
How about it being an all Sun Belt Final Four for the first time? What do you think that says about the growth of the game, especially in this part of the country?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's awesome. There's I know a lot of people were pulling for the 2 Canadian teams that were left, but it just shows that how close the league is and how tight it is. Really anyone could win on any night. You have to bring your best every night. So, I think it's awesome for the game, and it's definitely going to help grow the game at the end of this, whatever happens.
Thank you.